Yes, here we are, people. Here with my buddy Jermaine. So,
What's up, Jude?
Jermaine, I did, buddy. I did, man. Exciting times. I think how long you been? So tell the people about you, man. So, like, what was your background and where have you transitioned? So wait, hold on. I should introduce in the video. Sorry. I don't edit my videos, so I just doing it thing. So people, welcome aboard Jermaine. Jermaine, I've helped Jermaine or help mentor Jermaine into the IT industry and transition from being a truck driver into his new role in the IT. And this is 2024 and everybody's crying out, can't get a job, but Jermaine got a job. So, it's hard work, dedication, and persistence, in my opinion, is what helped him get there. But, you know, enough about me. Let me hear about Jermaine, man. So introduce yourself, buddy.
Hi, how's it going, Jude? My name is Jermaine. Um, so I'm basically new to IT, no experience whatsoever. Started off as a carpenter in Barbados, moved over here, joined the army as a driver, left the army in 2018, continued doing some driving jobs, became an HGV driver, and got to the point where it was like I was tired of like doing having like a job. I wanted something more.
Yeah,
Always been interested in IT, and I just decided to bite the bullet and use IT as my way to get to transition from having jobs to more or less like a career.
yeah.
So I'm using IT as a career path.
Okay,
I've enjoyed every bit of it so far. It's a big learning curve, but I'm here for the journey.
man. That's good. So what motivated you mainly? I mean, so you touched there on like you wanted more of a career, but was there anything else that you wanted to achieve?
With that, IT was always a passion for me. I just love learning new things,
Yeah,
and like I said, with IT, it's it's so it's so big. IT, you can you can never stop learning,
you
and
know,
yeah, that's where I want to go.
yeah, man. You can never stop. You're absolutely right. I think when we got talking about it, it was like I always made sure that, you wanted to choose what you were actually going to get into, what was good for you, not good for me. And, it's a good thing. So what opportunities you were hoping to achieve in the IT field?
And going in initially, I don't think I had any goal set. Like I said, it's something that's so large. I kind of like originally thought you literally had to know everything about IT to get into IT, but
Yeah,
like I said, we're going through it with you, Drew. Like I said, you're my biggest inspirations. Going through it with
yeah,
you, I just learned like pick a path and follow that path because I had times where I was learning and I was like I was learning a bit about IT and then like let's just say like Azure. So you start off learning about Azure and then you will learn well this AWS as well, this Google Cloud. All of them have different things that they offer. So it's just a case of finding what you want to do. And I
fair
think
enough.
with Azure is very fun is very fun my niche is where you want to be.
That's good, man. So I got a list of questions. I should done that introduction. We got 20, so we're down to four now. So it's just like, what prepare you? Um, how did you prepare and gain any education to achieve in your IT job? Like, how do you
Um,
start?
that's a good question. I start like I said with me. I always thought you needed to know everything in IT to get into IT. So what I done was I went did some research on Open University, saw a course, and hopped on it.
Yeah,
But with me as a driver and trying to do what I thought was a part time course, when it got time to me handing in assignments and stuff like that, I could not keep up.
yeah,
So I just took a step back, reevaluated things. There was some help from you, Jude. I saw I could do certifications
yeah.
to get into IT as well. So that was the route I took. It was, I wouldn't say hard. There's a lot of information on the internet, a lot of information. So it's trying to dissect and again finding what you want to do in IT, and then that kind of put you on a path towards the course certifications courses you should go after. So
Yeah.
with me, I started off. I did the AZ 900 under your advice. Past that, I was like, you know what? I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying learning. It took me a while to get back into learning, but when I started, every evening I got home, no matter what time it was, I would pick up my laptop and just start doing stuff, watching videos,
Mm.
reading coursework and stuff like that. Past the AZ 900, with advice from you again, got onto AZ 104. With the AZ 104, when I started to do that, it was a bit more difficult. So I took a step back again and looked into CompTIA. So I did
Yeah.
some CompTIA. I did the CompTIA A plus. Past that, I went back into AZ 104 for better understanding of RDP, SSH, stuff like that. Stuff like when I was just doing the AZ 104, it had me scratching my head. Was like, I don't know what half of this stuff is. So I took a step back, went and learned that through CompTIA A plus.
Yeah.
I, and then went on and passed the AZ 104. It took me, I'll say, a year and a half of constant studying, but
Yeah.
like it was worth it. It was
Is it
worth it.
because you learn the foundations, right? You
Yeah,
learn it's important to get those foundations in place, learning the basics and not taking shortcuts. But then it's just like, how did you find balance in your work, home life, and then trying to study?
difficult.
Mm.
No, it's still difficult now. It's a lot easier because I have a role in IT now.
Yeah.
So stuff where I would be driving and I would have to come home and learn. I'm learning on the job, and
Yes.
I also have my home time where I could f- do things that I'm passionate about. Then, so stuff that I might not be doing in the job, I can then come and do courses on.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot. But like studying, I haven't been studying for about 16, 17 years. So getting back into it, I would say, was probably the most difficult thing. But as you get into it, like when I passed my first certification, it motivated me
Yeah.
to keep studying and go after the other ones.
That's good, man. I like that. So, I mean, you talk about you did the AZ 900 104, you did CompTIA A plus. Were there any other resources or tools that helped you in your learning process?
Um, One of the biggest resources I could say is doing it through Microsoft. Like you can do labs through Microsoft. I
Yeah.
use under your recommendation. I use Wiz Labs. I use a Cloud Guru. A Cloud Guru helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Their courses.
Because you did a lot of
Um,
labs, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like with the courses, at the end of every module, you can do a lab on it. So
Yeah.
that helped a lot. Like as far as understanding, it's all well and good you do theory, but understanding how to put that theory into practical knowledge is
Sure.
something different. So the
That's good.
labs did help.
That's good, man. That's good. So, I mean, one of the things that I started as well is I started a WhatsApp group with a few people in it, you know, and I think it's like 10 now. And one of the things that we did was to add in there, and I encourage you to ask questions, not only to me, but to the group as well. So, like, how do you find that support and what was mentorship like? How did that help you? And, how did that get you from where you were to where you are now?
With as far as support, get it. I think is with anything. If you're doing something and you do a complete 180 to do something completely different, you're
Mm,
going to need that support. And with that WhatsApp group, it's been a lot of support. Just from speaking to guys, like there were times where I was like, I'm applying for jobs, I'm not getting anything, and I'm thinking, is it because I don't have enough knowledge? But then you'll go into the WhatsApp group and you have guys who's like they've been doing it for 10 plus years and they still don't know everything. So
Yeah.
that was that was motivation as well. And the
Yeah.
guys would constantly like motivate you, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep pushing. Sometimes I would just sit there and listen to you guys talk about technology and problems that you might come across in your day-to-day job, and it would just motivate me because I'm like, well, it's not just me that doesn't understand everything.
Yeah. That's good.
But
I like that.
like you need like with me, like I said, because I was a truck driver before, and I had everybody I knew was truck driving, so it was kind of hard to. Well, I want to get into IT, but
Yes.
what I'm doing every day is truck driving, so trying to study, and then the group of people that you're around aren't like-minded.
Yes.
They're doing something different, so that like that having a group that you can then turn to as far as like IT individuals is a massive help.
And it helps you relate too, like to some of the
Yeah.
struggles that you had. Like there's another gentleman there, Stanley, like you heard his story, how he was doing one thing and then you get into another. And I think that, that kept your fire lit up. So, that was good. So one of the other questions that there is like how important was mentorship in your journey into IT?
It was one of the most important things. I would say that because you have somebody to guide you that's actually in IT.
Yeah,
So it's like I would say it's harder not knowing where to turn for help. Like if you like sometimes I will have questions and I know I can turn to you, Jude,
yeah,
and
man.
you can guide me in a certain direction. Like if I want to know the temperature of the market, what's happening, I could turn to you because you're doing this stuff every day. So I could
Yeah,
turn to you. So that was a big help.
that's
And
good.
it's just like you done it, I'm learning from you. So like mistakes you made, you can then pass those on to me. It's like, well, instead of doing this, do it this way.
Yes,
So I learn from your experiences.
that's good. God, trust me, I got 20 years. You believe that? 20 years, where that went? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Came here in 2002, man, and then now it's what, 2024? Even forgot the year the other day. I wrote down 2022.
Sometimes I think about it. I think about times we would meet up, and
Uh,
I would quiz you about your job, and it just flew over my head, and I'm thinking I don't know nothing about none of this stuff you're talking about, but sitting down now and you start to talk about certain technologies you use, certain stuff you use, and I'm just like, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know the places you could use it.
it's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And we usually have a meeting, our WhatsApp group meeting, like bi-weekly. So every month, bi-weekly Monday, 2 weeks apart. And I think that, that helps encourage the other people as well in there who are now starting up, just like you know? And I think, what's really cool, what I find inspirational is that you trusted me and you believed in the process. That's the important thing. And you kept believing, although there were things that were, may have set back, but it was just like you just kept going. So like if you could share like a significant piece of advice or encouragement you received during your transition, what was that?
Don't give up.
Yeah, man.
Don't give up. Even when you feel like you don't want to go anymore, don't give up. There was times where I felt like that, where I felt like giving up. But that's why I said again, we go back to having a group of people that can encourage you. Because I tell you, if it wasn't for those WhatsApp meetings,
Yeah.
I probably would have been like, I remember applying for jobs, probably 20 jobs a day I was applying for, and I got
Wow.
to a point one day I was just thinking, is it worth it? Am I gonna get a job? It
Yeah.
was hard. And I remember I sat down on one of the WhatsApp meetings and I just listened to you guys talk and I was just like, when I got off that I just felt motivated. I probably applied for about 20 jobs after that.
Nice. That's good, man. one of the things that you brought up to me was is that you watch a lot of other YouTube videos and your turns were smoke and mirrors. You want to explain to people what you meant by that?
So basically, you would have sometimes I would watch YouTube videos. I would go and just search Google stuff like that about people, but some people sharing their experience about how they got into IT. Let's just say cloud engineering, cybersecurity, stuff like that. And it was just a case of like they sell you a dream, Jude.
Yeah.
Like I watched this video not too long back, and it was a case of how we got a nurse into cloud engineering in 5 months.
Yeah.
I watched the video. It was a 5 minute video, Jude. And after the 5 minutes, you learn how she got into things. You just learn to go to their website and buy a course.
All right. Yeah. One
That was
man.
it. And it's that type of stuff. Like you have people that are probably getting into IT and think, you know what, I'm going to do this course. I'm going to do this course, and in 5 months, I'm going to not go from not knowing anything about IT to become, let's say, a cloud engineer, cybersecurity, whatever they might want to get into. And
Yeah.
it's just not that. It's not that simple.
No.
Like anything, you have to start. You have to start. Don't get me wrong. There's probably some people that are talented enough they can just get it just like that. But for most people that's never done it before, one of
Yeah.
the big things you're gonna find is when you go to apply for jobs, people are going to be looking for experience. Most people are going to be looking for experience.
Will you say that was your biggest challenge that you had to overcome?
Yeah, one of them, experience. Like you might, like I did a lot of labs and stuff like that. I
Uh-huh.
could tell you, I could tell you how to probably, let's just say, for instance, migrate from on-premise and move stuff over to the cloud. But
Yeah.
if when you look at my CV, you saw me being a truck driver as my last job role, are you going to really trust me with that responsibility? Even though
Exactly.
I say can don't get me wrong, you could like I said again, there's some people that get lucky like that, but for the most, not everyone is getting lucky like that.
Not now. Let me tell you, there's a lot of challenges out there, but if you persevere, just like you know what I mean? But how do you get over those setbacks? You know, like how do you manage your setbacks and discouragements?
One of my biggest things is like I know what I want. Like I set up goals for myself, and I
Uh-huh.
push myself to meet those goals.
Yeah.
With every that's I think that's life. Anyone in life, that's you set goals, and if you work hard enough, you can reach those goals. Um, I I moved from Barbados to England, and I joined the army. A lot of things I never thought growing up I thought I never would have done,
Yeah.
and I managed to do them.
And that's the thing, you just persevere. I mean, you say that's one of the things I acknowledge about you because it just like because I don't mentor anybody, right? Because my time is precious. And the thing is that well, I spend a lot of time with you talking, mentoring, detailing. You know, that takes a lot of time to help shape because just as what you said, it's like when you're I'm sure there's some days that when I was talking to you about IT, that it just sounded like a different language, right? Alien.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is that because, to mentor somebody who is not willing to push and persevere is just not a good, good way of me using my time. And I'm glad to hear that, that us starting the WhatsApp group had helped. So that's good. I think I got this. So I got one more question for someone else. So we talked about setbacks and discouragement, and I think you already talked about giving up and how you overcome that. But it came the time where you finally got the call from someone, either a recruiter or a person, And I don't think we've talked about how you actually started working in IT. I think this is a good time to ask that question. So we talk about like your past, we talk about how you got through your journey and stuff like that. And how long did it take? A year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah, I would say about a year and a half. It started the ending of 2022.
Wow, already. So
So
talk
yeah.
about like when you get the call, man, what was that like? Share with people
Um,
like how.
it was, I would say it was more surreal. It was a case of
Mm,
you're applying for so much jobs, you're not really getting calls, you're not getting anything. Then you get that one interview, and it's crazy because after I got the job, I started getting a lot of other calls from recruiters.
yeah.
And that's how it works sometimes. So then probably really started, let's say, the ending of December,
Yeah.
early January. I started applying for jobs, really applying, and
So how do you get
today,
this job?
so a recruit up. Literally, I was pulling into a customer at work, and I just got a random phone call from a recruiter,
Yeah.
and I was like, let me take it just to see what she's saying. It's like, let me just do, what's the worst that could happen? That was what it was.
Yeah.
That I almost missed the call because it was literally right as I got back in my truck. My phone started ringing, and I quickly took it, and I was like, "What's the worst that can happen? What's
Exactly.
the worst?" They say no, they don't give me a job, and it's
Yeah.
crazy. I did the interview, so I got the call. I believe it was midweek, probably Wednesday. Did the interview on the Monday, and
Yeah.
got the job offer on the Tuesday.
Sure. So
Yeah,
you're not doing cloud at the moment, and we're not
no,
going to mention the company that you're working with, but we just want to talk about you. So you're not doing cloud at the moment. You're more or less doing some hands-on, but you do
yeah,
have a career opportunity in the same company that you could get to cloud, and that's a good
yeah,
step in. So like, you know, can you like describe a typical day in your role now because you're doing field engineering?
yeah. So
Yeah.
a typical day would be me receiving, let's just say, a work artist through my phone, through an app that I have, a field service app,
Yeah.
and you more or less, instead of like with a normal help desk role, how you would troubleshoot from a laptop.
Yeah.
So let's just say you got a call through help desk and they aren't able to resolve the issue. They need someone to physically go to the location. So that would where I would come in. I would physically go to the location, we would troubleshoot the issue, and like I would probably say 9 times out of 10 it's a fix, but it's mostly dealing with hardware.
Hardware, so like what, servers, desktops, laptops?
Yes, so swapping out servers, routers, switches sometimes, stuff like
Nice.
that.
Okay.
And I believe, like, with me, because I want to know as much as possible of how a network works, I want to know how servers work. I want to know everything.
Yeah.
That's me right now, fresh getting into IT. I want to know as much as possible. So
Yeah.
I thought that opportunity would be nice because you're physically doing stuff. Like if I break it and fix it, I know for next time what to do. So it shows me, it teaches me. Like I said, I'm learn. I see myself as a learner.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm learning.
We always learning, man. Just as you
Yeah,
said, when it comes to WhatsApp group, it's just nobody knows everything. I mean, I even hear at work, and my boss will say, "You could do this." I just like, I don't know. I've never done it, but it can't be that hard, right?
give it a try.
Exactly, give it a go. But I think a lot of people will probably say, "Oh shoot, man, but you did your AZ 900, you did your 104, but you do hardware." My opinion is that it's great that you got to work with hardware and start at the foundations of tech because I don't think on-prem is going to go away. I mean, so what's your opinion on that?
That's a It's a tough one because everyone seems to be moving to the cloud,
Yeah,
but with that, from my understanding, the cloud is supposed to be a backup for on-prem. So if things go wrong on-prem, you have your cloud. So it's 50-50.
Yeah,
I believe cloud is just as important as on-prem.
I agree, man. But you starting at the foundations and learning those basics is where a lot of people may go straight, where they just go straight into code and they don't know how to troubleshoot, a simple one device A, device B, that sort of thing.
You
So
do find that a lot. Like sometimes I'll be talking to people and
yeah,
like they know everything about, like I said, like they know a lot about the cloud, but they don't really know anything much about hardware and vice versa. Like
yeah,
sometimes I'll be speaking to guys that know a lot about hardware, but they don't know much about the cloud. So it's a learning curve. And what I have been seeing a lot is a lot of talk is always about upskilling. That's
yes,
one I've learned about the cloud. It's always about not cloud, sorry, tech is always about upskilling. So you might
yes,
not, technology changes so much, you might not know something one day, and the next day, no, sorry, next day, like say a couple months later, you're more or less an expert in it. And
sure,
then, and vice versa, by the time you're expert in that, it's changed. You got to learn something completely different again.
exactly. It's the 80-20 rule I was saying. 20% of what you know will be applied 80% of the time. It's
Yeah,
nothing new. So what's your most rewarding part of working in IT for you?
I would say that's a tough question because it's a lot to be honest. Like I spent, like I said, a year and a half, literally doing nothing else but trying to get into IT. So just being in IT is rewarding for me. Just,
No,
just, just the
it feel
fact that, yeah, just the fact that I'm like, finally,
it's victory, right? You finally got it. But mind you, you got a job in the toughest time of getting a career.
yeah,
So it's just all about timing and perseverance.
it
So that
is
was good. But
100%.
reflection, if you were to, how do you feel about the journey? How do you feel about, where you came from, how you got here now?
How, what's the best way to answer this? It's just like, I would say relieved because getting, because with everything, like it's with COVID and everything, there was a big demand, and it's like it's a drawback now. So it's like you're seeing a lot of layoffs and stuff like that in tech. So to actually get into the industry is, I would say, it's a relief.
That's good, man. So looking back, so looking back at where you've come from, where you are now, is there anything you would have done differently?
I don't think there's anything I could have done differently. Like I, I don't think so. I don't, no, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything I would have done necessarily differently. I don't. That's a
Fair
good
enough.
question though, but I don't think it's anything.
No, we got 9 minutes left in this Zoom. We got the free version. So got three more questions. So what's your long-term career goals in the IT sector?
My long-term goals right now are to get into cloud engineering with
Cool.
using Azure cloud as a Azure cloud engineer.
Yeah,
So yeah, so that's, I would say that's a long-term goal. But when I do get there, I then want to probably pivot in down the security side of it
yeah,
or the DevOps side of it.
that's good. That's good. It's a good shout, man. It's good to dream. I mean, a lot of people, I remember those days when I was having interviews face to face, and one of the questions would be, Jude, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And it'll be like, what you want. So the corporate answer is they want me to be a manager, right? Or an architect or promote myself and be able to do more for less money is my opinion. And I would say to them, yeah, sure, I'll become a manager and manage this business and stuff. That's how I get the job. I just tell them what they want. Now, I don't think people ask that question as much, right? When they do, I go, hey, I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years. You know,
True.
if you told me that the leading IT company was going to be a company that what used to sell books, Amazon, AWS, you would have just looked at me and laughed at me out the room. The world changes so much that you just don't know. So you just don't know at all.
That
What
is
advice would you give for others? Sorry to cut you off there.
getting into the field.
Anything. So if somebody was trying to get into the field and trying to start their journey and wanted to get into like where you are now, you're finally landing your IT job. What advice would you give them?
Basically, find the path that you want to take within IT and just work as hard as possible towards it.
Hmm.
Forget and also find a group of like-minded people. So you might be people that are in IT already. There's LinkedIn, there's stuff like that. You can I believe you can search for people on LinkedIn to
Yeah,
mentor you well.
yeah. No, that's good. That's good. So I think so. Got like 4 more minutes. So one of the things, just to share with everyone and give feedback is that it was absolutely an honor. I know that you and I are friends. We met through our daughters being at school and stuff. And and we've had a friendship. But one of the things is that you asked for mentorship and I gived it to you. As I say, it's not anybody that I would have trained, but one of the things that I could say is that you were determined, you listened, you applied, you were fearless. I think that's one of the things that I saw that you had, that you fearlessly went into something and just went, I will achieve this. And I think that's what it took for you, or what that's what it will take for anyone really to just as you said, make a 180, So I just want to give you that feedback. That's my honest feedback. You did really, really well. And it's been a pleasure mentoring you, but it's just not going to go away because you still got that mountain to climb. So do I.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it feels it all like it feels like like when if to climb Everest to get to the base camp
Yeah,
is a mission of itself. So that's I feel like I'm on base camp right now.
man, I'm glad you used that analogy because that is what it is. You climb, you got the camp, and you still got more, and then the gear switches, right? The gear that got you to base camp is not the same gear that's going to get you to the top.
Exactly. Yeah.
You gotta look at different things. So yeah, no, that's a pleasure, man, Jermaine. I'm really happy that you got where you are now. Keep
Thank you, Jude,
going,
man.
no problem, buddy. And see you next week on the WhatsApp call.
For sure.
And but I know you're busy now. You're here, there, and everywhere, and that's good.
But it's a good busy. It's a
Yeah,
rewarding busy at the end of the day. So when I get home on evenings, it's a case of, well, I learned something new today.
yeah,
Something I didn't know at the start of the day, at the end of the day, I know.
yeah.
And with the company I'm with as well, they offer you a lot of support. So that's a good thing.
That's
A lot.
good.
I believe that's important as well. That you
Yeah,
have whatever business you might end up, whatever company you might end up with, that support to push you, not just like like in my case, I'm a field engineer. Let's just go as high as you can as a field engineer, stay there. They push you, so after you reach your peak in the position you are, they push you to do other things. They push you to go further.
yeah.
So that's important. I believe that's important as well.
That was good.
That
That's good.
internal support.
Sounds like you got a lot of support from a lot of people, man. You just got that luck in you. That's what you asked for, right?
Yes.
You know what I
I
mean?
believe, but if you work hard enough as well,
Yeah.
other people notice, and
Ah,
they so yes, so other people like I said, Jude, you noticed,
yeah,
your
true.
WhatsApp group noticed. So like any question I might have, I can post it in that WhatsApp group, and then know there are people in there that are gonna support me.
Sure.
So that takes a lot of pressure off of me as well,
I
because I know I have that support.
That's good, man, Jermaine. Anyway, you've given me your time this afternoon. I really appreciate that. And I want to wish you all the best. I'll see you. Well, I'll see you when I see you, buddy.
For sure.
You were here the other day, so that's about it. But no, you're doing well. You're doing well, and
Thank
you're
you,
gonna
man.
do,
It's
yeah,
been a, it's been a long journey,
yeah,
or
man.
what felt like a long journey.
Well, we still got more to go, buddy. We still got
Yeah.
more to go. Anyway, thank you.
I
Have a
thank you
good
for having
night.
me on, Jude. Thank you.
No problem, Jermaine. Take care, buddy.
Yeah. Bye.
Bless. Bye.